Hello, my champ. How are you all? I am your shield. Today, again, we are back with Whiteout Survival. In today's video, I am discussing on formation, how to create good formation and how to counter the formation. I will discuss that. I have talked about formation several times in different videos of the generation, but today I am merging all the video in a one single list. So let's jump in our video. Before entering our main topic, I want to tell you something. I already told in my turn video where I discussed the turn. So in every battle, when you are using the infantry, you have to use the infantry in the highest number in normal case, because infantry is the front line. If your infantry is alive, then your lancer and marksman they can continue the fight. Okay, we can use more number of lancer when opponent have more number of marksman. Our lancer can easily kill the opponent marksman because lancer have a skill. It can ignore the infantry, it can hit the marksman behind. Okay, so lancer can work very well in some specific condition when opponent have lot of marksman, and marksman work good to kill the opponent front line. Marksman can kill the opponent infantry. That's how we fight in the whiteout survival. Now I will discuss all the formation, their counter formation, and in which generation we can use them. At first we will check the counter formation. Let's say opponent using this one for the defense. Opponent using 50, 20, 30 for the defense. Then what we can do for the rally? This 40% infantry they can absorb the opponent damage. This 40% lancer they can kill the opponent backline easily, and this 20% marksman they can try to fight the opponent front line. Okay, it is one formation, it is not very popular but it still work. And there is one formation 30 20 50 that can work very good in the rally. This 50% marksman they can kill the opponent front line. This 20% lancer is not very good to fight the opponent backline, but we are not fighting for a long time. Our 30% infantry cannot hold for a long time. We can end the battle very quickly with this 50% marksman. Okay, it can work. There is one formation called band formation. Band formation means it can get failure if opponent using 50 20 30, and if we try 60 40 0 we can get the failure. So band formation means we should not use that particular formation. Now let's say opponent using 60 40 0 in the defensive formation. 60 40 0 is very difficult to counter. We can try 40 20 40 to counter this. Okay, mainly we have to use the multi rally. Multi rally means 3 4 rally will hit the target at the same time, and some hero can counter 60 40 0, that is Bradley, Carol, Valkanas. They can counter 60 40 0. Okay, band formation 50 0 50 or 49 2 49, we should not use this to fight the 60 40 0, because this 40% lancer that can quickly kill our 50% marksman, and this 60% infantry can hold the front line for a long time. If our marksman is dead, our infantry game also over. Okay, so 50 0 50 is a very powerful formation, but we cannot use this against 60 40 0, we can get failure. Another formation 70 30 0, that can also work very good for the defense, and we can use the multi rally. Okay, no specific counter, and don't again use the 50 0 50, we can die. And next one 40 0 60, that is a very powerful defensive formation. It work very good in Sunfar Castle, also sometime in the Frost Dragon Tyrant it can work very good. It is so difficult to break this formation, but we have one counter, that is 50 50 0 or 60 40 0. This 50 50 0, 50% infantry can hold the front. This 50% lancer that can quickly kill the 60% marksman. Even here, the 60% infantry they can hold in the front, and the 40% lancer that can quickly kill the 60% marksman. Okay, band formation 50 20 30. If you use the 50 20 30, you can get failure in this case. One more defensive formation from the enemy team, that is 60 30 10, that can stop many attack, but we can try 40 20 40, that can work very good. Okay, but only one rally can get failure. We have to try at least double or triple rally with the 40-20-40 to stop this formation. This side all the defensive formation, here we are calling the rally. And band formation means if we use the band formation, we have chance to get the defeat. So I told you everything about the formation and the counter formation. Mainly we use this formation in every generation. Now I will tell you in specific generation what we can do. You have already seen this in my other previous video where I am discussing Gen 1 to last gen, every generation, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3. In my every video, you can see this formation, but in this video, I am merging all my previous video in a single list. We are starting on the generation 1. Generation 1, okay, this one is new. The place to use this column is new here, okay? In which place we are using this formation, that is a new column. First one, full offensive formation, 30-20-50. You saw the 30-20-50 right here, that is a good rally formation. 30-20-50 that can use in the player city. We can burn somebody with this formation. This is mainly for the whales. Okay, here is nothing about free to play. Geronimo, Molly, Zinman. Zinman is very bad for calling the rally, but in this case we have no option. Okay, we cannot use any other thing. And the joiner, Jesse, Sion, Jassar, Jesse. Now in my bear hunt video, I told you something about the diminishing effect. If we are using same hero as the joiner or the same type skill as the joiner, there can be diminishing effect. That means, let's say 4 Jesse. 4 Jesse should bring us 100% damage. But no, 4 Jesse can give us around 85% damage. Okay, I mean, they are damage stack, but do not stack directly. Okay, that is diminishing effect. Or let's say 2 Jesse. 2 Jesse cannot give us 50% damage. That will be around 46% damage from 2 Jesse. That is diminishing effect. So here is 1 Geronimo, 25% damage of skill. 1 Jesse, 25% damage of skill. 1 Jessa, 25% damage of skill. All three together will give the diminishing effect. But we are in the Gen 1 right now. We have no method to stop this diminishing effect. Okay. Hybrid formation, that is mainly for rally garrison together. When we enter the building, we don't have time for the garrison, we use the hybrid. 50-20-30 is a very good hybrid formation. You saw here 50-20-30 somewhere. Okay. 50-20-30 or 40-20-40, there are some good type of hybrid formation. We are using Natalia as the infantry. Why? Geronimo fully offensive, but Natalia have a defensive skill. But Natalia is not as good as Geronimo. Be careful for that. Natalia, Molly, Zinman, that can work good here. And Jesse, Sion, 2 offensive hero. Patrick, Sergey, 2 defensive hero. In future, we can use many other hero who have the hybrid skill, but in the early game, there is no hybrid skill hero. So we are mixing the hero. Jesse, Sion, Patrick, Sergey, we are mixing them. Full defensive formation 60-20-20. 60-40-0 is a very good formation, but 60-40-0 don't work properly in the early generation. So we can try 60-20-20 or you can try 60-30-10, that can work good, but don't use the 60-40-0. Geronimo, Molly, Zinman, okay? And defensive formation, we can try Patrick, Sergey, Lingshu, one more Patrick. 2 Patrick will give us the diminishing effect. Now we go to Gen 2. Gen 2 full offensive, we can try 40-20-40. That is a hybrid formation, but that is also good in the offense. Geronimo, Molly, Alonso. We are getting Alonso right here. Alonso have a very powerful rally skill. The first skill, that is lethality up. Alonso also have the rally widget. Okay, there are mainly 2 widget. 1 widget for rally, 1 widget for garrison. Alonso can give you the rally widget. Jesse, Sion, Jassar, Jesse, again the diminishing effect. Hybrid formation 50-20-30. We can try Natalia, Philly, Alonso. Here we are getting Philly. Philly is more powerful than Molly in case of stat. But Molly is actually more offensive. Okay. Molly's skills are more offensive. Philly have hybrid type skill. Okay. Natalia, Philly, Alonso in the rally, hybrid rally. And Jesse, Sion, Patrick, Sergey, that is a mixing of stat. And full defensive, here we can try 60-40-0. In the Gen 1, we could not use 60-40-0, but in the Gen 2, we can use 60-40-0. And here we can try the Flint. Now, Flint is a very good defensive hero. Flint is better than Natalia or Geronimo in case of defense. And Philly Zinman already here. Patrick, Sergey, Ling Shu, one more Patrick that will give us diminishing effect. That is a problem, but we have no other option. That is what we do in the Gen 2. Now in the Gen 3, we are getting a very powerful formation 50-0-50. I told you right here. Or if you don't want to use the 50-0-50, you can try 49-49. Actually, 49-49 is safe than 50-0-50. Okay, 50-0-50 have some chance to failure. The Lancer skill may not trigger. But if we use 2% or 1% type Lancer, we can trigger the Lancer skill. Geronimo, Mia, Alonso in the rally. You know Mia is a very powerful Lancer in Whiteout survival. We are using Mia right here. Jesse, Sioun, Jassar, Jesse, okay? Hybrid formation 50-20-30, no changes. Natalia, Philly, Greg. Greg is such a weird marksman. Every marksman rally skill that have lethality or the attack. Greg is the only marksman in Whiteout survival who have the health skill. Greg is working in the rally, but Greg is giving us health. Okay, you can see the Greg widget. The Greg widget is very, very weird. Jesse, Sion, Patrick, Sergey, this type joiner. And full defense case, we can try 60-40-0. That can work good. Logan, Philly, Greg. Logan is a very good hero for defense. Logan is not for free to play or the low spender. Logan is mainly for the high spender. Okay, for the garrison bonus member, you can try the Logan. And others are same, no change. Now we go to Gen 4. Gen 4 full offensive, we can try 49-49. Geronimo, Mia, Alonso. We cannot use the Greg or the Lin right here. Greg is not that much good for the rally. Greg have, I told you, health skill. Health. Greg is giving health in the rally. But Alonso give us proper damage. Other things are pretty much same. Hybrid we can use 50-20-30 or 40-20-40. Natalia, Philly, Lin. Lin has defensive widget. Plus, Lin can work very good in some rally because Lin have offensive skill, defensive skill together. Okay, even though widget is defensive. Other things are pretty much same. And full defensive formation we can try 60-40-0 where Ahmus, Philly, Greg. Now you can tell me why I'm using the Greg right here, why I'm not using the Lin. Lin stat is better, we know that. But here we are using 0% marksman. So Lin or Greg really don't matter because of the 0% marksman. But why Greg? Greg is giving us 25% health. That can really help. Okay. Lin also have defensive skill, I agree. But Greg have 2 defensive skill, 1 offensive skill. Greg can work better actually. Plus I told you, Lin have better stat. But that don't matter because of the 0% marksman here. Other things are pretty much same. Here I put the Alonso. You can see Alonso is not very good as the rally joiner. Alonso have the chance based skill for the rally joiner. But if the chance is triggered, we can get 50% lethality. Okay, you can remove the Alonso if you want. I'm not forcing you. You can keep the Alonso. You can remove the Alonso. Your choice. Next, we go to Gen 5. Okay, here I put something, you know this one, semi-offensive. Semi-offensive means more offensive, less defensive. You can sometime try in Player City. Okay, we can try this sometime in the Foundry Battle or some other event sometime. Okay, not very popular. Okay, this type formation. Geronimo, Reina, Greg. Okay, here I put the Reina. In the Gen 4, Mia is still working very good as the Lancer and Philly can work in the defense. But Reina is a very good Lancer for the player versus player offense. Okay, in that case Reina is here. Now in the Gen 5. Gen 5 same type formation 49-49. Geronimo, Mia, Gwen. Joiners are pretty much same. But in the hybrid formation we can use the Nora. There can be Nora joiner. Okay. Nora work very good in the joiner, but don't use 4 Nora. I say 2 Nora, 1 Jesse, 1 Patrick. That can be better. And remember one thing, if any hero is same in the rally caller and the joiner, that can still give you diminishing effect. Let's say we don't have double Nora in the joiner. we have one Nora in the joiner, one Nora in the rally caller, we can still get the diminishing effect. Be careful from that. But Nora cannot create a big problem. Two Nora, one Jesse, one Patrick, that can work very good in the rally joiner. And in the full defensive, we can try 60-40-0 or 70-30-0, that can work. Hector, Nora, Greg or Zinman. Greg or Zinman both can work good here, okay? Greg, Zinman both pretty much good hero. But in case of defense, Greg cannot work. I mean, in case of defense, Greg widget is offensive. Greg widget is rally widget. Zinman widget is actually defensive widget, okay? But still, you can try both of them. I mean, any one of them, your choice. And semi-offensive 30-40-30. Why? Here I put the Reina. Reina can boost our Lancer skill. Reina have one particular skill for the Lancer, so 40% Lancer that can make heavy damage for the Reina. Now you can tell me one thing. Here also we got the Reina. But why I use only 20% Lancer? I could use more Lancer, right? Here I was mainly working with the Geronimo and the Greg. They can boost our marksman. I mean, that's why I put more marksman. In this case, Reina with 20% Lancer cannot make any problem. That will still work. But here, we have the Gwen that can boost everybody. Hector can also boost the infantry and the marksman. Reina can boost the Lancer. So 40% with the Reina that can work good here. Okay. And you can see most of the heroes are same here. Now we go to Gen 6. Gen 6, everything pretty much same, but again I changed this one, semi-offensive. This one I put 40, 10, 50. Now again tell me why Reina, why I put this 10% with the Reina. Because here I put the Hector. Hector can boost some marksman. Plus I have the Owen right here. Owen work very good in case of player versus player. If I put more marksman, I can make more damage for the Owen. So Rene, Owen in the same team. Rene boosting Lancer, I know that, but Owen can make better damage. So 50% marksman can work very good with the Owen. And here nothing changed that much. Ooming coming here extra. In the hybrid formation, in the defensive formation, we put the Ooming. Okay. Other things are pretty much same. All the joiners are pretty much same. No big change. Now we go to Gen 7. Gen 7, here comes one big change. In the full defensive formation, I am not using 60-40-0 anymore. I am using 70-10-20. Why? Enemy Bradley can kill our 60-40-0. Here I told you, Bradley can counter, Bradley, Carol, Valkanas, they can counter 60-40-0, they can counter 70-30-0. So, in the Gen 7, when I am using Bradley, enemy can also use the Bradley. They can kill our 60-40-0. So, to be on the safe side, I can go 70-10-20. That can work better, okay? And other things are pretty much same, no big change. I put the Edith in the joiner. Edith can work good in the joiner, okay? And here everything okay. One extra thing I have added, super defensive formation 40-0-60. This one 40-0-60, that is a very powerful defensive formation, and it can work in the Frost Dragon Tyrant with Edith, Philly, Bradley. Why Philly? Because 0% Lancer stat don't matter. So I put the Philly right here. Philly can give us good skill for the defense. Okay. But other, I can tell Mia is not very good for the defense. Nora for the Lancer. Then Rene for the Lancer. Every other hero, they work for the Lancer. Philly don't perfectly work for the Lancer because we have the 0% Lancer. But Philly can still help us for the skill. That's why I put the Philly right here. And Bradley work in the Gen 7, no doubt. Others are pretty much same. You can check yourself. In the super defensive formation, I put the Patrick, Sergey, Lingshu, Nora. Now, there is a very powerful formation, powerful joiner formation. I will tell you at the end of the video. Now, there is one thing called defense breaker. If opponent using 40-0-60, what we can do? Opponent using 40-0-60, we can try 50-50-0, we can try 60-40-0. So this one is the defense breaker 60-40-0. Okay, it can work in the Tyrant where we use the Geronimo, Gordon, Bradley. Gordon can work very good for the Lancer. We have 40% Lancer in this formation, so it will work very good. And here we put Jesse, Sion. Some very powerful offensive formation, okay? Jesse, Sion. And in the Gen 8, there is no big change that much. Everything pretty much same. Some heroes are changing. Like in the defense, I put the Gatoth, Sonia. Okay. In the super defensive, again I put the Gatoth here. Philly still stay because Philly give you some good defensive skill. I told you, and Philly give you Lancer stat. We have 0% Lancer here, so Philly don't create any problem for our Lancer. Again, Bradley, I'm not using Hendrick right here because it is a defensive formation. Hendrick will give us rally widget. Bradley will give us defensive widget. Others are pretty much same, no big change. Defense breaker again the same. Geronimo, Gordon, Hendrick. Bradley cannot work here. Hendrick can work better in this situation. Okay. Gen 9, everything pretty much same, no big change. I mean, new heroes are coming like Magna, Zura, they are coming in the hybrid. Zura is such a marksman who can give you benefit for the defense. And full offense here, I tried the Geronimo, Mia, Bradley. You can put the Hendrick, but Bradley have all three skill for the offense. That can work very good. And super defense, this one, Gatoth, Philly, Zura. Okay, I put the Zura right here. I remove the Bradley, I put the Zura. Defense breaker 60-40-0. Geronimo, Fred, Hendrick. Here I did not put the Gordon anymore. I am Gen 9 right now. Gen 9, Fred can work very good. Fred give you the Lancer stat. We have the 40% Lancer, so Fred can work very good. And Gen 10. Gen 10, Blanchett coming new. Blanchett can work in the full offensive. Again, some other case. Blanchett can also work in the defense breaker. Geronimo, Fred, Blanchett, that can work very good right here. Here I put the Hendrick. You know, Hendrick can do one very good skill. Enemy defense down. Okay. So here is one Jesse, one Blanchett, one Sion, one Hendrick. That can work very good actually in any battle. And the super defensive and defense breaker both can work in the Tyrant. There is no actually any formation that can hold the Tyrant building. This 40-0-60 that can hold the Tyrant building, but 60-40-0 can counter 40-0-60. Next, Gen 11. Gen 11, you can see all the heroes are same from the Gen 11. Till now, everything was getting changed in every generation, but here everything is same. Eleonora in every case, Lloyd in every case, Rufus in every case. Rufus is one of the best marksmen in this game. Okay, Rufus can make very good damage. Other things are pretty much same, no big change. And Gen 12 coming right now. Gen 12, you can see everything pretty much same. Here comes the Harbor, here comes the Carol, here comes the Lygia. But in case of full offensive, Rufus can be better than Lygia. Even in the defense breaker, Rufus is better than Lygia. Okay. So these are all the heroes and all the formation in Whiteout Survival from every generation. I told you there is one joiner formation very good. That is one Gatoth, one Uming, one Haumos, one Patrick. Let me repeat one more time. One Gatoth, one Uming, one Ahomos, one Patrick. Okay, but it is not for everyone. It is only for the Whale Alliance, where there are a lot of whales. You can get the list in my Discord server. Don't worry, guys. I have made the list different times in my different videos, but this one is a complete list taken from all the video. And here is the formation, counter formation you can see. If you have any question, you can ask in the comment. That is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching and bye bye.